Howdy, and thanks for taking the time to check this out. This is my second update to the truck bed liner that I used on the keel of my aluminum boat. I've got a cumulative time of about 600 hours on the water, maybe longer. That's just what I recorded with my sonar unit as far as how much time it's been on. A lot of times I fish without it on, so it's greater than 600 hours between the last 2 seasons. So it's been a total of 2 seasons of multiple beachings, multiple loadings on the ramp, and I'm hard on my gear, and I'm about to show you the wear and tear that this is put up with. If you watched the first video, you saw what I used and how I applied it. And here I'm going to show you how it looks after 2 seasons. Right here on the outside, I've hit a few rocks, scrapes and dings, but it's all still present. That coloration you see right there is just marks from rocks. It's dust that was scraped off, and all of this is still completely intact. The rivets are looking great. I would highly recommend doing this if you have a riveted boat. Less wear and tear on them, and if they are slightly leaking, these weren't, if they are slightly leaking, then they won't be anymore. There is some damage. We'll start right here. You can see where some of it's been chipped off. I've hit some pretty sizable rocks getting in close to where I think the fish are at. As I go further down the keel, you'll see where some of it is completely worn off. Now, I think this is a mixture of that roller, and while it's holding the entire front end of the weight of the boat out of the water as I'm loading, otherwise it would still be mostly present. But you can still see some chips and dings in there. The roller did, I honestly do feel the roller did a lot of it. So if you look just past the roller, it's not too worn out, but there's still some more there. So, I mean, objects that you're gonna expect to hit while fishing, and I mean, you're not hitting them crazy, you're bumping into stuff, or you're sliding into gravel, you know, you gotta take a leak or something, or even further. You might have to beat your boat and go do that. You can definitely see a good amount of wear in here. Overall, the majority of it is holding up fantastic. Like I said, this is 2 full seasons of fishing. I had a very thin coat on there to begin with, and once it warms up enough for this to dry properly, once again, if you're going to do this, wait till it's warm. Don't do it in the cold. It'll never dry. I did it in my garage, and my garage is my basement, and here in Connecticut, the basement stays roughly 50 degrees during the winter, but it still wasn't enough for this to dry over the period of a month. Not completely cured. I mean, it was dry to the touch, but it wasn't cured. I brought it out in the first heat, and that definitely cured it up. Like I said, I'm going to reapply. It's going to cost me about $4 and 1 spray can and a little bit of cleaning, and I'll be back on the water just as good as day number 1, and I have no excessive wear in my keel, which, I mean, arguably is where you want to avoid that. Can't complain. It's held up very well, and I did use the cheapest stuff you can get at Harbor Freight, so I imagine if you went and purchased some better looking or better quality, which maybe it isn't, but maybe it is the best, I don't know, I've never really messed with some of the other stuff, but definitely have no complaints. Once again, I think this roller did a lot of the wear. That's fine. It's still holding up fine. I will say, when I did beach it, I was pretty aggressive with this. Like, I hit it pretty hard, like really hard. multiple times. So I'm not surprised some of us wore off. If you're a little more gentler on your equipment, I am certain it'll hold up much better. But overall, think about how much time I said I was on the water. It's just fine. None of it was worn off from driving. Everything, when you look further down here, that's all going to be underwater, hitting waves, bouncing off stuff while you're flying around on plane. And it's held up fine. I've got no complaints. Did this for pennies on the dollar compared to how you normally do it, or how some people spend money on keel protection, and definitely added a few years of life to the boat. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up and be putting on some more interesting stuff here pretty soon. Thank you.